All right, so for this graphing question, since we don't have the original graph that was provided, I went ahead and made one just to explain the concepts, right? So for the first interval that was suggested, well, first and foremost, we want to make sure that on our y-axis we have identified our temperatures. We have our intervals outlined here in terms of going from 50 to 20, to 50 to 52, and so on and so forth by twos. For our x-axis, we're going to have our time. So we're starting at 6 a.m. and then we'll continue to do so under each of the more bold green lines will represent each hour, right? So at 6 a.m. we're starting out at 54 degrees, right? And then we're told that for the next 4 hours, we're going to increase by 1 degree. So we're going to multiply 4 hours times the 1 degree Fahrenheit increase per hour, right? So that tells me that I'm going to have a 4 degree change from where I'm starting to where I'm going, right? So that means that I'm going to end up at 58 degrees Fahrenheit, right? So how long is that? Again, so we're going to meet where we're at 58 degrees Fahrenheit and 4 hours later. So 4 hours later from 6 a.m. is 10 a.m., right? So 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, right? So my next point is going to meet at 10 a.m. and 58 degrees, right? And that tells me exactly where I'm going to want to write or identify my next intersection in terms of information. So I'll draw a straight line from here to here, and that's exactly what we see here, right? So this is our graphic example of identifying 10 a.m. as my next time and identifying the change of temperature as up to 58 degrees Fahrenheit. That should be cool enough, right? So we move on. Sorry, let me go back here. So we move on to the next interval. We're told that over the next 6 hours, we're going to increase at 2 degrees per hour, right? So that tells me my next increase is going to be 12 degrees total from our original, right? So now we're at 58 degrees. And so 12 degrees greater than that is going to be 70, right? So that tells me that my next temperature is going to be at 70, and my time is going to be 6 hours from 10 a.m. So 6 hours from 10 a.m. is actually 11, 12 noon, 1, 2, 3, and 4. So 4 p.m. is going to be my next time slot. So I'm at 10, 11, 12, 1, 2, 3, 4, right? So this is going to be my 4 o'clock. And I'm meeting up with my 70, right? That allows me to meet at 4 o'clock, 7 degrees Fahrenheit. And my line should look something like that. And that's what we see here. Again, right? 4 p.m., 70 degrees, right? Then I know that for the next 2 hours, the temperature remains the same. So that means I'm not going to have to make any adjustments. But if I'm going to keep the same calculation, I know that I have a 0 degree change per hour times 2 hours. So again, I have no change in temperature, right? No change in temperature there. So for the next 2 hours, nothing should change, right? And that's exactly what we see here. Great. Awesome. Again, trying to get this in 5 minutes. So thank you for bearing with me. So for the next page, we're told that over the next 2 hours, right? Over the next 2 hours, we see a decrease in temperature. So minus 3 degrees per hour, right? So that tells me that I'm going to see a 6 degree or a negative 6 degree change. So I'm going to go from 70 down to 64, right, over the next 2 hours. So it's going to put me at 8 o'clock, right? So I'll see something like that, right? That's exactly what we see here. Now, for the next 3 hours after that, it tells you the endpoint is 58 degrees at midnight, 59 degrees at midnight. So once you identify 59 degrees at midnight, and so right now, let's see, my windows is covering up the 59 degrees at midnight. But once you put your point at 59 degrees at midnight, that intersection, you can just draw a straight line from your point, right? So when graphing based on, and this is what the graph looks like. So when graphing based on information, always try to calculate your next point and then continue your straight lines from there. If you have any questions, feel free to contact me. Other than that, I hope you have a good one.